I've been testing a lot of AI agents recently, and in this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 favorites. So we're going to jump in first with Lindy, but I've got 4 more after this that you're going to want to hear about. You can think of Lindy as kind of an AI employee. You can use it in different ways. So one way you can use it is just describing an agent, and it's going to build it for you, all with natural language. But you also can actually build workflows, kind of like Zapier, step by step. And then you can do a combination of it where a workflow might have an AI agent step. And then you can run those on a schedule, or you can run it just whenever you want. Now, I actually really do like Lindy. The only issue that I've had with it is that it is a bit expensive, at least if you're using the most powerful models. And sometimes you use really powerful models and then your tokens might be gone really quickly because it'll do a big research project and then your tokens can kind of be gone from there. Here, just to show you an example, this is a Twitter X writer that I created. Or actually, I think this is a template. I don't think I created it. But here you have a flow editor where, they receive the message, it'll go through. And then there's also the tasks where you can just ask it for tasks and then it will go through and create it. Yeah, Lindy is definitely a great one to check out. I think it's really powerful. It's only getting better as the models get better, but it is a bit expensive. Test it out. I would recommend trying it out with some of the less expensive models to get started with. And it's a lot more affordable with the more affordable models. Just something to keep in mind. There's also a lot of really great templates in Lindy. That's another thing that I like about it. The next agent is Manus. Now, I've been using Manus a lot lately, and I really do like it. I like it for a couple of reasons. One, it is really fully an AI agent. So it's not like Lindy, where you're going to be able to build workflows. So there's some pros and cons to that. So the cons is that you're not able to necessarily know exactly what's going to happen in each step, but it makes it really easy to have it build agents. And you can just have it go and build something, or you can build scheduled agents. So if we go to settings, we have some scheduled tasks. So you can see here, for example, I have a scheduled agent where every day it's going to check for other AI newsletters and try and give me sponsors that have advertised in those newsletters. So something helpful like that. It's also able to build full stack web apps. So that means you can build, for example, here's an app that I built with a database and a backend database to track sponsorships. You can do a lot in Manus. It's really turning into kind of a super tool, especially with the ability to build web apps, websites, and then also do the research tasks as well. Something else that I really like about it is the slideshow capability. So if we go here to this slideshow that I created, so this is created fully in Manus, and yeah, it's just a slideshow. You can download it. It'll do the research for you. You can download it as a PowerPoint, convert to Google Slides. There's just a lot that you can do with it. The slideshow is really cool. And then one other thing that I really like about it is it's something called wide research. So if I go into this task, for example, where we're doing research, actually not that one, it was this one, where we're doing research about dental offices in Los Angeles. So if we scroll up, you can see this is something called wide research, where I wanted it to find the email on all of these websites that it found. So if I click on this, you can see there were 40 websites, and basically it'll do 20 at a time simultaneously. So instead of having to wait for it to go one by one, it'll go and do them all at once. Now, again, not the cheapest thing to do, but I think Manus might be a little bit more cost effective than Lindy. It's definitely worth doing some comparison and seeing for it yourself, but I definitely really like Manus. I think it's worth checking. The next one to check out is ChatGPT Atlas. So this is ChatGPT's new browser that they released, and it has something called agent mode. So you can describe a task and have it do that task in your browser. So just as a really basic task to test out, we're going to say find movie times in New York City today. You wouldn't necessarily need an agent to do this. You can just go on Google, but just as an example. So here it's searching for movie times. The agent's kind of deciding what it needs to do. And we can see it's literally doing a web search for us. So it's taking over our browser and you can see what it's doing. And I really like the UI as well of agent mode here. It's opening things up. If I'm going to compare this to some of the other tools, I think that actually so far, I prefer the other ones to Atlas so far. The only thing about Atlas that's nice is I think it's free, or I have a ChatGPT plan, so at least maybe it's included in that. But I think that in my experience, Atlas optimizes a little bit too much for this web browsing view, which I think is really impressive and cool, but isn't always necessary to take over a browser. and do that. It's like a lot slower sometimes than just like doing a web search and doing that in the background. So here we can see it's opening multiple web pages. But yeah, this is like the future of how things are going. And you can imagine if this speeds up 10 times as quickly, then I think web browsing might actually be the way of the future. Right now, it just feels a little bit slow, especially to get something like this. And we have some results here and just movie times across different websites. So cool that it was able to do this, but worth checking out. It's free to download. So yeah, we check out Atlas. All right, so we have two more, and one of them is a browser. And that browser is Comet. So Comet is Perplexity's web browser. And I actually really like Comet. I think I like it more than Atlas for a couple reasons. So first, I just really like Perplexity for research. I think it does a good job. I'm not a pro member, so I don't have access to all of their more pro research modes. But I think that it's nice that with Perplexity, you're not locked into OpenAI's models. You can use other models as well. But it has similar functionality of being able to search the web for you and doing those types of things. So I can actually check this out right now. Let's do a straight comparison. So we can say, let's say, what are movie times in New York City today? Let's see how it resolves this. So here, yeah, and this is what I mean. I think this is a much smarter way to answer this question. It didn't have to open a browser and actually search the actual website. It could just go in the background and get the content from those websites and then give me the times. Now, one thing though I will say is it's not giving me the exact times the way the Atlas did. So let's say, can you give me exact times? So let's see if it can do that because it's saying to visit to get exact times. So let's see. Okay, here we go. So now it was able to give me some exact times. Okay, you can let me know what you think if you prefer the Perplexity version or the OpenAI version of this type of answer. But then the other thing that you need to know about this browser is the assistant. And this is something that I think is really cool. So let's say we're on Yelp. Let's just go to restaurants. Let's say we're looking for Thai food, just as an example. Actually, I wonder if it's going to let me do it in Comet. Okay, so let's go to the assistant. And then what you can do is, because we're on this tab, and if you have other tabs open, you could add them and bring them in. So I'm going to say, make me a list of every restaurant on the page. And then it should be able to make a list here, compile it, and then here we go. So now we have a list of everything on the page. And I'm going to say, can you go to the next page and get another list? So I'm going to see if it can. So here we go. Now you're going to say, do I want assistant to browse for me? I'm going to say, okay. It can't use browser when logged out. Log in to unlock the full capabilities. Okay, so it wants me to log in to do that, but it seemed to give me an answer anyway. So did it go to the next page? What's on the next page? Let's see. Yeah, so Soother. So these were on the next page. So I think what it did was it found the link to the next page and then was able to get it. So pretty smart that it was able to do that. But again, you just have to log in to Perplexity and then it can browse in a similar way. But this is what I mean, where sometimes it makes more sense to not browse the way that Atlas does. So just something to kind of keep in mind. And my last one that I'm going to talk about is Claude. What I like about Claude, it can be an agent in different ways. We're talking mainly here about AI agents for like research and getting work done, not coding agents, which would be a different video. Obviously, Claude Code is an amazing coding agent. But what a lot of people don't know about is Claude is also amazing for research. And it's good for a couple reasons. So first, we can click on extended thinking, make sure research is turned on, web search is turned on. You can also add other connectors if you want to just pull in even more data, which makes it even more powerful. Yeah, Claude is a great choice, especially if you want to do deep research. It's only $20 a month to use it. And it's really great. One example that you could do is give it a list of 10 websites and have it search through each of them for different information. So it's really good at spinning up multiple sub-agents, and you can even ask it to do that, especially in extended thinking and research mode, to just do like really intense research, and then you can leave and then come back and it'll be done. So Claude is definitely another one to check out. So I hope that you like this video. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think. Which agent do you like the best, or have you used any of them, and which ones do you find the most valuable? Thanks for learning with me as I kind of go through all of these new AI tools, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more free content like this. We're always trying to bring you the latest in AI and no-code tools. And if you're interested in learning how to build AI apps, click the link in our description to get the first lesson for free of No Code MBA's AI app building class, where we teach you how to build and vibe code websites and apps, even if you have no experience doing it before. So check that out, get your first free lesson, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.